Congrats, guys.
We'll take an opening statement from Coach before going to the Duke media, then the media in the room.
All right. Wow. I mean, that's an instant classic. We hear all the time the cynicism around bowls, and that is, who wants to play and crowds, and that was a big time atmosphere. That was a big time game. Both teams gave it all. The back and forth, the momentum swings, and we got put in a position where it was all going against us in the fourth quarter. And like our guys have shown time and time again this season, when the easiest thing to do, which is to sit there and say, it's not our day, they just find a way to win, and they make winning plays. I couldn't be more proud of our players, couldn't be more proud of our staff, everybody associated with Duke football. It's just been a phenomenal week here in El Paso. This bowl game is run at an elite level, and you get now after this experience why everyone talks so glowingly about their experience here in El Paso, and everyone's been phenomenal, and it only made sense that we could pay the city back with a game worthy of the treatment that we got in our time here in West Texas. So with that, let's do questions.
We'll start off with Sarah. She's moderating for the Duke media.
Folks with Duke, reminder, please use the raise hand function. I'll call on you. Steve, we'll kick it off with you.
Thanks, Sarah. Manny, can you just, the defense had a hard day, a lot of yards given up, but then to come up with those last two plays at the end, Kendall Johnson with the forced fumble, and then, of course, Luke Margot with the interception. Just what did you sense from that group, that what they were going through all day, and then to make those plays at the end?
Yeah, I mean, they were disappointed in the plays that they let up. And again, got to give Arizona State some credit. I thought they played really well. I thought their quarterback played really well. And they did some really good things with the quarterback run game to cause us some problems. But that's not anywhere near our standard. But we do say in this program, you always have a chance to play the next play. And we talked about on the sideline before those last couple of drives is that nothing that had happened in the game had mattered to the point that would determine the winner and loser. It was going to be what happened next. And what happens next, you're always in control of. So it's very easy to sit there and say, oh, man, we're just playing terrible today. It's not going to happen. And so, again, for the mental toughness and the courage for those guys to walk out there and make those winning plays shows what type of players we have here at Duke.
Anybody else on the Duke side? Bob, did you have something?
Yeah, Manny, the last, well, not the last drive, but when you moved inside the 10-yard line there late in the fourth quarter, it looked like you were kind of putting all your eggs in that basket by calling a timeout or two there, and just the response you had after that. What do you think led into that after, like, you give up the ball and then you get it right back?
Well, you're playing to win, right? And we'd used one timeout. We had 2 left in the 2-minute warning, so we knew we had a chance that we could get a stop and get the ball back for our offense. And you just had a feeling that there was one more twist and turn in a game that was filled with twists and turns, and that's what makes a game so legendary like it was. You just don't know who it's going to be, and Kendall Johnson and Kamari Robinson kind of coming together to knock that ball out and getting it back, and then we just talk about it in our program, us just doing simple well. We got a running play called. Darren just makes a great decision, sees that there's a lot of grass out there, and they're playing really off our 2 receivers, and he zips it out there to Queso, who brings it in for the touchdown, and then. Okay, now you got to make a game-winning interception. Luke Margot 2 weeks in a row, but we still couldn't take a knee in that scenario, and to have the trust in our players, namely this guy next to me to my left, to be able to execute the most basic play in football. Right, every Little League team in America runs a slant, but can you run a slant on 4th and 4 for the win? And that's the very first thing we talk about when we get to practice, and the fact that we could do simple well in not so simple times. In my mind, is how you win championships. And that's what the credit goes to these guys for being able to execute in those most of extraordinary circumstances.
Steve, did you have another question?
I did, yeah. I wanted to talk to the guys there about that last touchdown, the game-winning score. What were your emotions like when you got back on the field after not converting on inside the 10 there, and then the defense gets the ball right back to you, and boom, you scored the touchdown there. Just what your emotions were, and kind of describe what you saw in that play and how it came to be.
To be honest, I was pretty defeated after that fourth down, where we didn't convert. And I threw the throw to the back of the end zone. But, I just kept in it. My teammates did an exceptional job just lifting me up, because I did feel like that game was out of reach, to be honest. So, credit to my teammates. But I said this before, like, all I got to do is get it to my playmakers. This dude next to me is an absolute baller. So, just get it out there and good things will happen.
And then Queso, can you talk about it too? What your wishes were on that?
Honestly, it was like a roller coaster, coming off that last drive, but we didn't convert on fourth down, and we saw that they got a fumble, and we got on offense, and I know I looked at Darian, and I saw it was one-on-one to the field, and, we do that the first day of practice as well, one-on-one tackling, and I know if it's me and somebody in front of me, nobody's stopping me from getting into the end zone.
And then real quick, one more follow-up. Queso, if you could talk about Samir Hagan's, the block on that play. It looked like he made that happen. Opened the hole for you.
Yes, sir. Samir he definitely put his body on the line on that play. He blocked him. He did his job, but like I expected out of Samir, he do it all the time. We play for each other, and I know it's his last game, and I appreciate him for put his body on the line for that play. Honestly.
And Bob, we'll go last question on the Zoom to you. Is he hearing nothing? I will turn it back over to you in the room.
All right, we'll go to start with local media. We'll go to take questions for Coach here for the media in the room.
Hey, Coach, 35 wins for this senior class, most in school history. What does it mean to send those guys out with a win today?
I think they're the best class in school history. And did we send them out with a win, or did they send us out with a win? You know what I mean? And whether it's Samir making that block or catching that slant to ice the game. What they've done is they've raised the bar. What we just talked about in the locker room is that now what's next? We don't want this to be the high water mark for the program. So we're proud of those guys for how they found it to how they left it. But now the responsibility is to continue to advance and even dare to do bigger things.
Coach, just what is it meant for you to be able to see Darian obviously come in, transfer from Tulane, immediately lead you guys to an ACC championship and then now a bowl game win? Just how has that been, just being able to see Darian kind of take you to
Very proud of him. Not just in terms of what you get to see on game day, but just who he is in preparation. Really fits the culture of our locker room. And then, it takes competitive excellence to be your best, and you have to have people that can perform their best when their best is required. And to me, that sums up Darian and what he's done, not just in this game, but other huge moments of the course of the season when we put the ball in his hands, like the 4th and 4. That's how we can make those calls as coaches, because we know that he's got it, and he can make the play that will win us the game.
Any more questions for Coach before turning over to players?
Coach, it's been a long time since Duke, was a big powerhouse in the ACC. You mentioned a little bit earlier how, this is just the start. What is the expectation really like in the future? The next Bama or what we're looking at?
Our expectation internally is, to be honest, is disappointment from this year. I think our players know that we could have done more than even what we did this year, and that we own the mistakes we made. We were grateful that we were able to still play for the ACC championship and win it. We were grateful that we were able to come to the Sun Bowl and win that. But when we go back to Durham, we're not going to be sitting around saying, "Wow, we did it all right." We know there's more there to be had, and internally our expectations are extraordinarily high, and we do not compare ourselves to others. It's about what we can be, and we know what that is.
Is your quarterback a Heisman Trophy candidate next year?
I don't know why he wouldn't be a Heisman Trophy candidate this year. Yes, I think that's absolutely the case.
Coach, Luke had that interception at the end. Obviously, you had a big interception during the ACC championship too. With the kind of defensive difficulties today and the linebacker room having issues all year with injury, how do these moments kind of set the stage for next year as the defense continues to grow?
Yeah, well, we have to take a big step forward on defense, right? Obviously, the way we played this year wasn't up to our standard, and that work begins immediately. But what they are is they're winners, and I know our defensive staff will be the first to say the most important category that we lead the nation in is wins. You know what I mean? And so what we know is, we weren't where we were 2 years ago, but we won 9 games, right? And that's what this game is all about, right? And it's not about yards, it's about points. And when they added them up today, Duke had more points than Arizona State, and that's because our guys found a way to finish.
Any questions for Darian or Keyshawn?
Darian, just kind of want to bounce, sorry, I don't know if they're, sorry, I saw you
Go
raise
ahead.
your hand a little bit. Just kind of bouncing off the question that I asked Coach, just what does the season mean to you after, leading your team to the conference championship and now this bowl game, just against ASU?
Yeah, I don't want to say it was perfect, but it was pretty close to it. Just to send our seniors out with a win like this in that type of fashion was awesome. But it's really just been a huge blessing to be a part of this team. And Duke is truly a special place. And as soon as I stepped on campus, I felt that. So it's just been an honor to be a part of this team, to be honest.
For both of you guys, you had a couple deep shot connections, but also the screen game was working really well. How have you seen your connection grow throughout this year?
I mean, this dude will tell me if I'm not getting him the ball. So it's it's been an awesome season to have him next to me. He pushes me to be better each and every day. Me and him will just go at each other every day in practice, whether it's on the field or in the weight room, wherever we're at. He's truly been like my brother. As soon as I stepped on campus, he's probably my best friend, to be honest. So, yeah, he's just an awesome competitor, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Honestly, since day one, on this official visit, I came and I had to step out of my comfort zone. With being a new quarterback, I had been through one and then another one. But ever since then, it's just been like a brother. You know what I'm saying? And through this year, it's been some great plays, some good plays, and some bad plays. But we go back to the lab after each one of them and we make sure that we fix it. And I appreciate him for that.
Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody. Happy New Year, y'all.